Coach Petralli said that he's pretty much leaning on his experienced guys like you who've been in the stadium a long time with wind conditions and that. What have you told him?
Well, I told him that every day's different. That's the funny part about the stadium. The wind changes every 5 seconds, so being in tune with all of that and being able to find an aiming point is super important, and kind of just being able to go on the fly and figure it out pretty much constantly.
Have you figured it out?
Again, you got to figure it out every day. That's the funny part. When it's dead, when there's no wind, it's nice and simple, but I can't say there's a specific thing you can count on every day here.
Do you feel like your position group's got a lot more respect now that you have your own coaches? I know you have Papa, but he was splitting you and his tight ends responsibilities, and now you have a couple of coaches that are just strictly looking at what you guys do.
Yeah, I wouldn't say respect. I think all of the guys in our room last year did their best to perform, and the coaches did the same. It's going to be a completely different room, so we're going to have to earn that respect throughout the summer and throughout fall camp, so that's yet to be seen. I feel like I'm going to help out those guys that come in and try and do as good a job as we can.
What's it like having your own coordinator this year? And then, you have two with both Petrelli and Froelich.
It's good. It's only been a few weeks, but I think they're both, terrific coaches and great people. I think Coach Petrelli and Coach Froelich both have a lot of experience in special teams, and I think that's going to help us a lot. It's good to have two coaches that are dedicated to our group. I think it helps all of us develop as players and as people. I think it's going to be really good for us.
How would you describe what last season was like for you?
It was obviously tough. Stuff like that happens in every sport to every player, and you're not going to always play your best. And I think through those experiences, I've grown into a much stronger person and kicker. This is as strong as I've felt kicking the ball in really my whole career. So I feel really confident in my ability, and I feel confident that that's all behind me, and I'm going to be able to pick up right where I left off, come game one.
How do you kind of deal with some of those challenges from the season?
It's not easy, especially with some of those tough spots, but I like having time to myself and time with my family. I think that always helps ground you, come out and kick.
First brought in like a kicking specialist in the middle of last season. Did that guy help you out?
I thought it was good. It was good to get another set of eyes on what I was doing. Obviously, he'd never seen me kick, so it was some surface level stuff, but I got a lot of respect for Coach Donner and what he does, so it was really good to get him out here.
Was there anything, you closed the season strong, obviously, but was there anything in particular you worked on over these last couple of months, like technical-wise?
I think kicking's a fickle game. You got to have everything on in every kick, so I think it's being able to cover all the bases rather than, one technical error. Every kick, there's certain things that go right and go wrong. So it's being able to make sure that you can get as much right as you can every single time you go out there. And the more you do that, the better your next kick will be.
You guys had, you're going to have a new punter this year, a new long snapper. You're kind of the last holdover. What's allowed you to kind of stick here during your 4 years now?
Yeah. This is an incredible place. The fans, the city. I'm very loyal, and I have tons of respect to pretty much everyone involved in this program. I think it's important that we remember the tradition that this program has upheld, and I think through my experiences those first 2 years with the last staff, I think it's helped me a lot, and it's helped me help out the younger guys. And I think, there's no better place to be than here. I wouldn't trade anything for the world.
I know you guys didn't recover it, but how would you assess your onside kick in the Sunman?
I thought it was good. That was the first one I'd done in college, so that was kind of fun to go back to that. But it's very simple, so as long as I do my job, it's up to the bounce of the ball, really.
How often do you guys practice something like that?
Pretty often. Yeah, we're out here on the field a lot, and you can't always be out here, smacking field goals and kickoffs all day, so work on the utility stuff is important. So we spend quite a bit of time. I'd like to back myself as a decent, inside guy.
You said you feel as strong as you've ever felt right now. What's your distance today? What would you put the comfortable distance at?
I don't want to put a number on it. Every day is different. the wind's going one way, it could fly 10 yards further than the other way. The next day, it could be the opposite. So,
I mean, how often you've been here for a couple of different coaches, how often does a coach ask you, what's your confidence level today? What's your distance? Does that happen, or do you have that conversation with coaches?
I know game days, it's different because obviously the weather impacts everything. So, I would have a conversation with my coordinator before every game to talk about how I'm feeling. So, it's usually a day-by-day thing.
Jed backed you pretty unequivocally last year, even when you were going through your rough patch. What did that mean to you to have that confidence?
It's really important, especially bouncing back and having those last couple of games. It helps that I had the backing of Coach Fish and all my teammates. It means a lot, and you can't bounce back no matter what position you are unless you have some support system behind you, and that was super important.
What are some of your personal goals for this year?
I mean, personally, I'd like to, everyone would say they want to make every kick. I have certain things I want to achieve, but I need to improve every day and, take it kick by kick. And if I win every kick, then I'll get where I want to be at the end.
Do you want to get around long 56, 7, 8, something like that?
I mean, I wouldn't say no to that. I'll go out there and kick wherever they tell me to kick, and it should go through that place.
What is your range, you think?
Again, it changes every day, so there's not a.
Well, what's the longest one you've made here in practice? 60?
I've gone upwards of 60.
All right. Thank you, Grady.
Thanks,
Thanks, man.